You think loneliness is about being alone, about silence, about the absence of people, but that's not it, not really. You can be surrounded by friends, family, coworkers, and still feel like you're drifting in a sea of invisible walls. You can smile, laugh, play the part, and feel utterly isolated. Because loneliness doesn't come from the absence of others. It comes from the absence of being understood. That's the part no one tells you. That the scariest kind of loneliness isn't physical. It's emotional, psychological, existential. The human mind isn't wired simply to be around others. It craves resonance, recognition. That electric moment when someone looks you in the eyes and you feel it, they see you. Not the mask, not the persona. You. Most people never get that. We live in a world of performances, filters, small talk, curated selves. We've learned to show what's acceptable, palatable, marketable. We hide the parts that confuse even us, our darkness, our contradictions, our strange, raw truths. And in doing so, we trade connection for approval. This isn't new. Even centuries ago, philosophers wrote about this inner exile. Soren Kierkegaard said, "The most painful state of being is remembering the future, particularly the one you'll never have." His life was marked by intellectual brilliance and emotional solitude. He felt perpetually misunderstood, not because he was alone, but because his truth didn't fit into the world around him. In modern psychology, there's a term for this: existential isolation. It's the sense that no matter how close we get to others, there's a part of us that can never be fully known. A private theater of thought, memory, and emotion, impossible to translate perfectly. Think about it. How often, loneliness is being in a room full of noise and realizing none of it is meant for you. It's scrolling through endless highlight reels and seeing nothing that reflects your inner life. It's hearing "how are you?" and knowing the real answer would ruin the mood. This pain, though quiet, shapes us. It makes us question our worth. Are we unlovable? Too much? Not enough? The mind, in its desperate need for coherence, creates stories to explain the disconnection. Maybe we're broken, maybe we're different in a bad way, but the truth is simpler and harder. Most people aren't equipped to hold space for another's full reality. Emotional depth is rare and uncomfortable. We live in a society obsessed with comfort and productivity, not truth. So the ones who feel deeply, who think in layers, who see beyond the surface, often carry the burden of being misunderstood. But here's the paradox: your loneliness is a sign of your depth. If you feel unseen, it's because you see more than most. If you feel unheard, it's because your truth is richer than surface talk can contain. This doesn't make you broken. It makes you real. In fact, some of the greatest minds and most compassionate souls have lived with profound loneliness, not because they lacked people, but because they carried truths others weren't ready to hear. Franz Kafka once wrote, "I am free, and that is why I am lost." He lived much of his life in psychological exile, and yet his words reach us decades later, sharp, haunting, human. The irony of loneliness is that it feels uniquely yours, but it's everywhere, hidden in the smiles of strangers, in the sighs between sentences, in the pauses after someone says they're fine. So what do we do with this? We stop chasing noise and start seeking resonance. We look for the rare souls who don't just hear, they listen, who don't just speak, they reveal. It's not about having hundreds of conversations. It's about having a few that matter. Connection isn't about proximity. It's about presence, vulnerability, risk. But here's the uncomfortable truth. To be understood, you have to reveal yourself first. That's the cost of real connection. You have to show the parts that might be rejected, the strange thoughts, the unfiltered emotions, the raw edges. You have to risk being seen, to be seen. Not everyone will get it. Most won't. But those who do, they become mirrors. Not perfect ones, but real. And sometimes all it takes is one person who says, "Me too," in the exact moment you thought you were alone. The world needs more of that. Not more noise, not more filters, just more truth. And maybe your truth is exactly what someone else has been waiting to hear. So speak, not to be heard by everyone, but to be found by the ones who understand. If this resonates with you, you're not alone. Not really. There's a quiet tribe of minds like yours, thinking, feeling, wondering in silence. Maybe it's time we started making a little noise together. If this video made you feel seen, even just a little, take a moment to reflect. Share your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, and stay with us as we go deeper. Because here at Ethermind, you're not just heard, you're understood.